And it's going down right now. And everything is okay, y'all. Yo, we do it this way, y'all. Everything is gonna be alright, and everything is gonna be alright. We do this thing Sunday morning, not tonight. Yes. How y'all feeling today? Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the R. And today on the Daily Go Get It Business Show, we about to get into something real hot. Real hot, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me fix some things. Maybe a little. Let me bring it down. I get it right now. Okay. All right. Boom. Okay. All right. So this is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, and today what we're talking about, what we're talking about, is having to hide your masculinity or your femininity. So what we're going to be asking, what we're going to be talking about today is there a pressure in today's society to hide how you naturally masculinely? Is there pressure from today's political society to hide the way that you feel in your masculine nature as a man or in your feminine nature as a woman? Like, are we put in certain situations today where you can't let a man be a man? Excuse me. Where you can't let a man be a man anymore? Where a woman can't be a lady anymore? And sometimes can't even be a woman anymore? Are we thrusted into situations, and is there pressure coming from our jobs, our schools, our neighborhoods, our families, our media sources to make us think outside of how we really feel? And has our feelings really changed, or have we had to make adjustments to the way that we really feel, and we're waiting somewhere to be able to feel the way we felt before? Have we evolved? Have we evolved as humans to accept certain things, or have certain things revealed themselves to us, and now we've had to accept them, and we've seen the light? Well, we going to get in it today, not tonight. Going to get in it today, not tonight. It's going to be all right. Yeah, Urban Therapy with Sun today, not tonight, y'all. So glad to see my people's coming through. Stacy White, what's going on, man? Good to see me some you. Good to see me some you, man. And my brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? Good to see me some you. T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. Carol Chamberlain. What's going on, man? Good to see me some y'all, man. So sorry I'm a little late. Y'all know how I go though. But I had to get this concept together. I had to get this show together. And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it today. Having to hide your masculinity or your femininity. Now I have some examples. We're gonna rock out on some examples today. Because I really feel like a man is not able to be his masculine macho self. Now, I'm not talking about hypermasculinity. I'm not trying to say that a man should reject anything in the way of sensitivities to other human beings, other people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that being sensitive to people's feelings and making some adjustments in the way that you treat people, I'm not saying that that's less than masculine. As a matter of fact, I think that all men should have to do that, should do that, just to gain more understanding of how to improve their relationships with people. But what I'm saying is, should a man have to accept things that don't make him feel comfortable as a man? Should a man have to put on tights if he don't want to put on tights? Should he have to wear skinny jeans if he don't want to wear skinny jeans? Should he should he look the other way when he sees some of these entertainers, these male entertainers running around here in skirts and dresses and shit? We're going to get into that kind of shit and even more. celebrities. I hate to use celebrities as an example of how to get my point across, but because they are our most visible examples of how to make an example, yeah, I have to use them. So when we look at a situation like, when we look at a man, a so-called man like Dwayne Wade, the basketball player, the retired basketball player Dwayne Wade, when we look at somebody like him and we see how accepting he was of his son's declaration that he wanted to live his life and grow up as a woman. When we see how accepting he wasn't just accepting of it, in my opinion. He went all out to support it. And I'm not saying that he should have been non-supportive, but I think that there are limitations to all things. And I think that there's a lesson to be taught and learned in all experiences. But being as though so many people seem to think that he did the exact right thing in that situation, are the people who don't think he did the right thing in that situation, have they had to stand down? Me as a man, do I have to watch his situation and think, well, if I was in the same situation, should I do the same thing that he did? And I'm like, man, we're not doing that. There are ways to support, but to still hold on to what you think is right, what you believe, and the way that you feel as a man. Now, I ain't going front. I don't know of any examples where a man would be comfortable with his son choosing that lifestyle. Naturally, when most men think about having a son, they thinking about, I'm going to teach him how to play sports, dribble a basketball, shoot a jump shot, be able to catch a football, run through coverage, run through the be able to catch and run and throw. And when he starts liking girls, I'm going to give him good advice on how not to get played and how to get the woman of his choice. That's how a man thinks when he's talking about how he's going to raise his son, or when he's going to have his son. I know. Oh yeah, my son feels like he was born as a girl, so I'm going to support that to the fullest. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into those types of examples. We're going to go there today, and we're going to go some other places. We're going to go some other places. We're going to get where we need to go, be where we need to be. Urban Therapy with Son Show. Yo, come with me. Urban Therapy with Son 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Son Show. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight. We go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. We play on the monkey bars and push each other up the sliding board and push each other on the swings. We play in the sandbox. We just try to get it popping together like a one big recess. Non-stop. I'm your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. I forgot one thing that I was supposed to say before. We do this every single Sunday from 11 a.m. till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday, and I am here, and you are here, and I'm so glad to see y'all here. Let's make it clear. You are my dear, or you are my mans. We do this thing, and we always take a stance. The opinions that we hold them hard, but it ain't like we ain't trying to let go or learn a little more, and everything is going to be okay. And that's something that I always say, because it's that way. All we have to do is learn a little lesson, one 2, and receive our blessings. Don't block nobody else's go for self, but always keep your community health in the back of your mind and on the forefront, and everything is going to be okay. Do what you want. All right, y'all. Allergies killing me today, dog. Killing me. They killing me. And you know that they're killing me. Okay. So, having to hide your masculinity. Why would a man have to hide his masculinity? Why would a woman have to hide their femininity? Why? Lady Cicely. Hey, what's going on, ma? How you feeling? Good to see you. Good to see you on Instagram side. Thanks for coming on through. You know, if I would encourage you to come over to the YouTube side. You know, come over to the YouTube side, the YouTube side, because that's where all the action is. You know, we got a chat room over there. But you know, if you're comfortable right there, you know, just chill out. Just chill right there. And I see my girl Grits and Wavy and Grits. I said Grits and Wavy and Grits. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming on through it. You know that you're the Chicago all up in the house. Chicago all up in the house. So yeah, why would a man have to hide his masculinity? I mean, in my opinion, men are so encouraged. They are forced in a lot of ways to hide their masculinity nowadays. A man can't be a man. I ain't talking about being all aggressive as a man. I ain't talking about getting in people's faces and beating up people and having people afraid of you and all of that. Yo, who you think you're talking to? Watch what you say and taking things out of context as far as respect is concerned. I'm not talking about that because that's not masculinity to me. What's up, Cat? What's up? You gotta come on this side. I got you. Yeah, here we go. You ready for liftoff? All right, let's go. Because she want to know, why can't a man be a man? She says, why? You got another question? Why can't a woman be a woman? I just don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why? I mean, are you finished with the questions or you have some more to say? You good? Oh, one more question. All right. I'm fighting for cat rights. Y'all be wanting us to act like dogs. Yeah. You straight? You good? I mean, you know, if you got another, let me know. Let me know. You know, I rock with you. I rocks with me some you. Yeah, I'm actually allergic to pet dander, especially a lot more lately. What are you looking at? You got the nerve to wipe me off. You the dirty one. You see me cleaning myself all the time. You shower or bath once or twice a day, and you think you're really doing something because you wash your hands. So yeah, you know, it's to the point where anything that is male-centered nowadays, it seems like it comes under this unwarranted attack. So if you believe in the pink and the blue, the pink for the girls, the blue for the boys, and I don't mean the color literally, I mean the concept. If you believe that little young boys should be raised in a certain type of way to cultivate their masculinity, then you're wrong nowadays. And I'm wondering how the hell can that be wrong? So on the political side, there's a big push to push especially the black male out of the equation. We used to always talk about how the white male was the problem. Now the black male is the problem in the black community, as far as the current political agenda is concerned. So, we haven't done a lot of things to help that situation because there are so many single mothers at the head of their households. There's so many single mothers who are the heads of the family. Sometimes on purpose and a lot of times by default, because the men aren't there. Sometimes the men aren't there because they've abandoned the family. Sometimes the men aren't there because they are incarcerated. Sometimes the men aren't there because they have died. Sometimes the men aren't there because the mother and the father can't get along, and the mother does not want the man to be part of that equation. These are my babies. I carried them for 9 months. They are my responsibility. You can add in some financial help, but if you don't really want to be there, then I'll hold it down for myself. Now, in a situation like that, where a man is absent from the home and the woman is forced to be the head of the household, will she be able to keep her feminine nature? Will she be able to keep her feminine side showing while still being able to raise young men to be masculine men? It sounds like a hell of a challenge to me. Because how is she going to be feminine all the time and look at things from a female perspective, or from a feminine perspective, I should say, and still be able to balance out the emotions or lack of emotions that a young man may feel? How is that going to work? So we have challenges. We have big, giant challenges in the black community. This is what we're working with. Thanks for coming on. Tasha, rest in peace, Dad. What's up? And SN Moses 1. Thanks for coming through. Y'all appreciate it. Appreciate y'all on the Instagram side. So yeah, how if a woman has to be the man, I'm sorry, the mother and the father of her household, what is she gonna do? Be halfway masculine, halfway feminine? Now, hormonally, biologically, she is exactly that, because we are all born with 23 chromosomes of a man, 23 chromosomes of a woman. But the dominant part of our nature from birth will determine which side we choose. So when we start getting into, now hold on, let me do something. Let me get something clear, because I feel like I need to explain this, because we don't seem to understand that there are more ways to look at a situation than well, let me put it this way. Sometimes we have to really listen to what's being said by each other before we start going off the rails and making determinations about what's being said. So I want to make it clear that I'm not here to bash any homosexuality today. That's not what I'm doing. I also want to make it clear that I don't agree with any homosexuality. Let's make that clear. But I am objective enough. I do have enough foresight to see both sides of the coin. I don't really give a shit if you're gay or you're straight. I do give a shit when you say that I can't make a choice one way or the other. I'm a straight black man. I love being that way. I am concerned with male and female relationships and nothing else. I don't support nothing else. And I don't do the rainbow shit. I ain't marching in none of I don't gay marriage, none of that shit. However, I live and I let live. As long as you keep that shit away from me, and don't be trying to tell my children that it's okay to be that way. It may be okay to be that way. If they was already on the path of femininity as a woman and masculinity as a man, I don't want nobody getting in the way of that shit and having them all confused about something that they were naturally sure about. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not here to diss. what I'm here to do is try to get some understanding about what we're doing out here, because I get confused. I do. I get very confused about what direction we are going towards as men, as women, as a society, as a community, as a people. So that's what we're talking about when I'm saying that you may have to hide your masculinity and femininity. There was a time when you were at work or in a club or any type of social gathering, and you could speak the ways you wanted to speak candidly from a male perspective or from a female perspective. Now it ain't like that. Now people looking at you all sideways, you know, like you're dissing them personally if you have something to say about the lifestyle that you disagree about or something like that. So you might have to use a little bit more than what I might consider to be tact to be. Like using tact just means that you don't try to deliberately offend anybody, and that you are aware that there are some things that some ways that you may express yourself that may be offensive to others. And I don't have any problem with that. But limiting your ability, to express how you feel honestly and candidly for nobody's other gain or feelings except for your own. I think you should be able to do that. You know what I mean? I'm way past the point where I'm going to tell somebody who's acting like a sissy to stop acting like a sissy if he's genuinely a sissy. But if you expect me to agree with all these studs running around here, you know what I mean, talking about they like the same thing I like, I'm like, nah, you don't. Nah, we don't like the same thing. And we don't feel the same way. And I can guarantee it. Yeah, I love women. But I don't love women like you love women, because you want some other shit. I love them the way they supposed to be loved. That's what I do. If y'all would like to call into the show, I invite y'all to call in. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby, on. 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 Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. It is the Urban Therapy with Sun show, and we are talking about having to hide your masculinity or your femininity today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. So let me see what y'all talking about today. Hold on. Grissom Wavy says, why you gotta hold her up like that? She likes that shit. She in my face right now, like we were good. I mean, I don't see why you had to stop. I don't see what the problem was. Okay. Okay. TK right says cats love to be gripped up by the backs of their necks. That's right. And women do too. Every time I get with a woman, I grab her by the back of her neck. She calls it choking. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, Grissom Wavy said the way that you held her up was real masculine. Ansel Jones says working customer service guys with high-pitched voices don't be talking on the phone. Don't like talking on the phone. Oh, interesting. Interesting. TK right says having clear gender role associations is frowned upon. It's bananas, and that's true. I agree with that shit. And so says a lot of women with husband or boyfriends are on the other side of the world for months or years. Stacey White says, yes, my mother helped raise me and my first cousin. She did a great job with her nephew. Okay. Ayala, what was that? Yeah, Ayala Harris. What's going on, Ayala? Thanks for coming through. I hope I'm saying your name right. You know what I mean? It could be Ayala. You know. Carol Chamberlain says, a woman has to look at it from both perspectives. I'm just saying, okay? Cicely says, that's interesting. I would be interested at a later time, of course, in a show of parents of children who don't identify the gender they were born. That's probably not going to happen on this show. But I understand what you're saying. But then again, yeah, you never know. All right, TK Ray says, that would be an interesting conversation, Cicely. Okay, Carol says, Cicely, I would like to hear thoughts on that topic. All right, let me see what I can do. Not all women, Omar. All right, women share. Grissom Wavy says, I always thought being held by the front of your neck was choking. Not when you're hitting it from the back. Then you got to choke from the back and lift them up. Okay. TK Ray says, no man better grip me by the back of my neck unless to kiss me. Wait a minute. Oh, that says Layla Harris? Oh, my bad. But how come they spelled the first letter with a lowercase L? Okay. All right. I see we have a caller on the line. Caller with the last numbers, 4828. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Thank you for holding. What is on your mind this morning? Is it still morning? Yeah, it is.
Good. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Feeling like a real man should. What's good with you?
This show. This is this topic. I was listening to you read some of the comments, and I also feel like I agree with, I feel like these days when you prefer traditional gender roles, you almost have to hide it in certain settings, or, unless you're prepared for backlash.
Yeah.
So you may not be hiding, femininity or masculinity per se, but maybe your thoughts on femininity and masculinity, you do have to hide. And I feel like that's an issue. We've gotten to the point where the whole Dave Chappelle situation is a clear example of how society is dictating how we should think. And, and if for some reason you don't think how I think and you don't live how I live, then this whole cancel culture bullshit, we're going to cancel you because you don't agree with how we're, how we're doing things. And I wonder if Dwayne Wade felt pressured into absolute compliance when it came to his son wanting to live as a girl.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of society's current mindset with the LGBTQ community played into his response to that, because he had his wife was just getting on a new show at the time when it all came out, and his career was winding, rounding up and everything like that. So I wonder if they said, well, we kind of have to play this on some Caitlyn Jenner shit just so we can remain relevant and keep paper in our pockets. So that's one thing. And also I actually made a little list. I played sports. And I remember having to like I come off as kind of like masculine in my approach to certain things, the way that I think. Even for years, I still walked like I played basketball for years. We just kind of like walk a certain way. I have to try to hide that around men whenever I would remember to hide it, because some men automatically they'll see you unless they're into basketball. You know, the guys who are into basketball, they can look at, they be like, oh no, she's not a dyke. She just, you know, she must play. She walks like she plays. You know what I mean? But other men would be like, oh, automatically thinking that you're gay. So you would have to hide the way that you speak, the way that you interact in a conversation, just in order to make men feel comfortable. Then you would go to work and you had to hide your femininity because you know, your femininity can be taken as a weakness at work. So it's definitely a double-edged sword, you know, for some people.
That's an interesting perspective. I wasn't really thinking about it from that side, you know. But let me ask you this. Having to hide your femininity at work. I never really thought about a woman having to hide her femininity there at work, but if you're in a male-dominated field, I could see how, you know, your feminine nature might be looked at as a weakness in some situations, particularly if you're on a blue collar job where the work is of a physical nature. Let's say if you're on a construction site, I don't think that we look at femininity as strength. You know what I mean? Like we need you to get on this jackhammer. We need you to dig this hole. We need you to pick up this pickaxe. We need you to move this. We need you to move this slab of sheetrock from here to there. I'm like, well, we don't physically lift sheetrock anymore. Don't we kind of grab the forklift? And nonetheless, you can't have your little girly hands. You can't have your girly hands working the forks on the forklift. You know what I'm saying? This is a man tool. So I can understand it from that perspective. And it's something that we have to take into consideration, especially in corporate America. Now, in corporate America, it's a little bit different because masculinity is very much frowned upon in corporate America, especially if you're a black man. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all, because some people are going to listen to this and they're going to say, well, okay, so he reverts everything to black men or black people in general, whatever. It's always like a color line drawn, which is what some people might say about me. But the truth is the truth. And I know that I battle with it on a regular basis. You know, black male masculinity, that energy has absolutely no welcome in corporate America. Because to them, you come off as aggressive, hyper masculine, even potentially violent and threatening, absolutely threatening. So, you know, most black men who hold any type of position in corporate America have to dumb down their natural masculinity. Sometimes without even any words being spoken. You know, I know I've had to battle it plenty of times, just being myself, and you know, being told that, you know, you have to be you have to tone it down. You have to you can't come off as being a threatening black male, and you may come off as being a threatening black male just by showing up every day. And it's a tough thing to have to deal with, because you get into regular conversations dealing with dealing with work-related issues, and just the tone of your voice, your mannerisms and things like that have make some people intimidated. I've had the problem for years. You know what I mean? They're not hearing the words that I'm speaking. They're more so looking at my shoulders. They're looking at my arms. They're looking at the whole physical makeup. And in their mind, they're saying like, this pit bull bite. I don't care what y'all say. You ain't gonna tell me that this pit bull don't bite. Yes, he do. I can see he got what we were saying. What we used to say when an intimidating dog was trained not to bite. Be like, no, my dog don't bite. He got teeth, don't he? Yeah, I know you've heard that before, right?
Yeah, I have. I think I've even used it.
Well, the point is, most people who use that be on some bitch ass shit. You know what I mean? That what they're really telling you is that they're scared of the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't have nothing to do with that particular dog. They're scared of all dogs. You know what I mean? You know, you don't find too many people that say, well, you know, I'm kind of all right with a Chihuahua, but not a German Shepherd. They like, nah, none of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? All they want to do is, you know, if they can't get you, then they'll fuck your slippers up. You know, that type of thing. Just to show you what they can do to you if they get their paws on you. But dealing with that it's a real thing, because you're dealing with people's backgrounds of their experiences, their negative experiences with somebody who may look like you, act like you, somebody that they may have known who had some experiences with somebody who looks or acts like you. You understand what I mean? So a lot of times it's not even about you, but you're in a position to not act the way that you would normally act, even if you're acting in a professional nature, in a professional setting. But you have to dumb it down like you a pussy in order to maybe get the recognition that you deserve, or to move up in position that you may have worked hard for and that you deserve, or to just be able to keep your job, because you know what happens in corporate America when, or any professional setting, when you are not popular with the people who are signing the checks. They will find a way to get you up out of there. You know what I mean? Eventually, it's a process, but they'll find a way. And but when I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm good. Go ahead.
I was just going to piggyback off of what you were saying, but from the aspect of for a woman, a Black woman, because that's what I am. You know, around men, and let me just say, you see a male-dominated industry. Most industries are male-dominated, even though we have a lot more women who are in high positions. It's still male-dominated and white male-dominated. And so, when you're in front of those white men as a Black woman, you can't, you really can't be as feminine as you may be outside of work, because then they won't take you seriously. And then when you're around white women who may be, who may hold high positions, you kind of have to balance your masculinity and femininity so that white woman doesn't get too intimidated by you. It's like this crazy balance that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want them to know, you want that white woman to know, don't try me. But, I'm not going to, you don't want her to think that you're going to beat her up in the parking lot either. With the men, it's like you can't be feminine, because then they feel like they can sleep with you and use you for their ebony fantasies. So you kind of have to hide the femininity, or risk being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
you know, but when they see you as a you know, as a woman who's tough, they're like, oh yeah, well, she really means business. We can take her seriously now.
Yeah. Now, we don't want to get this confused with interpersonal skills. This has nothing to do with just being a nice person, being able to work well with others, being open to ideas and different techniques, and doing what's necessary in order to perform the function of getting a job done from beginning to completion. This is different from that. When we start talking about hiding who you are, let me ask you this. Do you feel like in these jobs, in these industries where we are having to feel like we have to hide who we are, do you think that we are responsible for hiding who we are straight at the interview process? Are we aiding to our feelings of rejection or our feelings of being criticized or being judged or being scrutinized? That's the word I'm looking for. But for being negatively scrutinized, are we doing that in the interview process because we are working so hard to give a good impression at the interview that possibly we have gotten the ball rolling with not showing them who we truly are, and then we expect to be able to show who we truly are when we start the jobs? Do we bear some of that responsibility?
Absolutely. We do it. We do it right from the beginning.
Okay.
You know, that's why when we're talking amongst ourselves, we laugh and joke about, you know, our business personality, you know, our business persona, as opposed to who we really are. Most of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had the fortunate experience of, you know, maturing to the point where now the person you get at the interview is the same person you're going to get every day. So you know exactly what you're going to get now. But there was a time when I was much younger where I felt like I had to, you know, kind of morph into something that was more acceptable while still trying to, you know, maintain as much of myself as possible through that interview process.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for a fact that we walk into that interview like, hey buddy, how you doing? All right. You know, and then you know, you gotta keep that shit up, you know, on an everyday basis. So every day you call everybody buddy, drinking coffee, you don't even drink coffee, you know.
But in that interview, are we hiding our masculinity and femininity, or are we?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me just say, during the interview process, it depends on who you're in front of.
Right.
Because you know, you could be a male. If you're in front of women, you feel. But this is from what I was told. You know, I'm not a man, so I can't really say. I can only share what I was told. They feel, men that I've talked to have felt more comfortable showing their masculinity in front of female interviewers.
Okay.
But not too much.
Wow.
Especially if she's white. You know, because you know, if she's white, you know, she might be turned on by your masculinity. You know, she might not. She might be like, oh man, he's so, you know, so assertive. He's a little bit too assertive for me. You know, and then they're very careful around other men because men like, you know, the whole piss on trees thing. So yeah, I think it depends on the gender and the temperament of the person that's in front of you.
Okay. All right. Because I've been on so many colorful interviews, you know, like in my experience, you know, I've been on interviews where the interviewers are cursing and, you know, they're basically letting their hair down. I'm thinking like, this is the culture of this business. Now, my suspicious nature is saying like, no, don't let them take you off of your interview square and start doing what they do. because they may be doing that in order to see if you are the following type when they're trying to hire a leader. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But I'm thinking that in an interview where a woman is looking for a job, I wouldn't think that she would have to hide her feminine nature. I would look at it more like she would probably show her feminine nature, but also make sure that she doesn't do it beyond the scope of professionalism. Like I would expect her to dress like a woman, maybe with a female business, business attire, for an interview or something like that. But I wouldn't expect her to like have her titties hanging out, ass hanging out. Look at my tramp stamp. I need a job so I could be able to get another one. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just trying to get some clarity on why a woman or how a woman would have to reduce her feminine or hide her femininity in a job interview.
Well,
and hold on.
Well, femininity is not it's not in the way you dress, though. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily. I mean, that's a part of it, but divine femininity is an energy. It's an energy, mm-hmm. And so if you are in front of a male interviewer, you'll know right away if you've walked in and you're allowing yourself to showcase your femininity during the interview process. You'll know right away from his eyes and from his body language whether or not he's attracted to you.
Yeah.
And it could cause a problem down the line because you may get hired on the strength of, I'm going to hit that. I'm going to manipulate that. A lot of men who are in power positions, the power position, feel like, they can plan their next whatever amount of time out because this girl that they're interviewing, is hot or attractive. But like I said earlier, it's about not being taken seriously. It's almost like, and I've worked in corporate, banking. They think you're soft. They talk to you. When they're talking to you, they talk to you like you're soft. If you exude a certain level of femininity, they don't hold your thoughts or feelings in high regard. Well, I shouldn't say feelings, because with the feeling thing, they feel like they have to talk to you like this. Or you okay? Like that. But they're not going to take any of your ideas right off, straight off the rip.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, no, How good could her ideas be?
Okay. All right. I can see it from a certain standpoint, but I guess I just feel like men have to hide their masculinity a little bit more, particularly black men. Like I've seen white guys, even in corporate America, be their masculine self. Some of them I'd be like,
yep.
I'm like, how he?
Yep. Especially Italian men.
What's up with Tony over here?
Yeah, Italian men will walk in the room, be just loud and boisterous. Nobody will think anything. Uh-huh. Black men walk in, being not even just a quarter of that same volume, and people be like, "Wow, look at Michael. He's just what's going on here?" It's baffling to me. It's baffling to me, and I think that's a shame. But I mean, I don't want to. I personally don't. I won't say that one has to hide it more than the other. I'm just saying that both genders have to do it.
Yeah.
Both genders have to hide, their masculinity or femininity. In my case, it's both, depending on where I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who I'm around.
So on these jobs, do you think that the jobs are under pressure from another source to make other employees dumb down their masculinity or femininity, or hide their masculinity or femininity. For example, so we have the equal opportunity. What they call it when you have to hire a diverse where you can't discriminate against hiring people of different races, cultures, religions, ages, and things like that. What is it called? The equal opportunity employment, some equal opportunity.
It's called
ain't the EEOC? What is it? Equal.
I thought it was the equal opportunity. But basically, you're I don't know why I can't think of the word. It's one word. But
all right, Grits and Wavy says that it's the EEOC. So is that equal employment opportunity? What's the C?
Affirmative action.
Not affirmative action. Not affirmative action, even though that may be considered.
You have to have affirmative action is there to ensure that there's a certain amount of diversity.
Okay. My point is, having not being able to discriminate against hiring people who hiring qualified people just based on their gender or their gender preferences or their race or their cultural background or their age or whatever, sex, whatever. All right, that's one thing. But do you think that there is pressure to make people who you may not have even discriminated against in the past, do they have to conform to a certain standard or to a certain code of conduct? Is that what we have going on? That's what I'm really wondering. All right.
When you say people, who are people?
Okay, all right. So let's say you've worked on this job for 20 years, 30 years, right? Now you've seen the demographic of the employees change. Maybe at one time they were all white people and some black people. Now and most of the black and white people who worked there were quote unquote straight. Not just because of hiring practices. That's just the way it was, right? Now, is there a force, or are businesses being forced to not just hire people who are qualified, but to hire people who may be gay and qualified? And does that trickle down into your workforce to the point where, in order for them not to feel discriminated against while or after they've been hired, you have to insist that people act a certain type of way in front of them, almost all right, make sure that y'all show out while company is over.
Yes, I get it now.
Yeah,
there is pressure for that, and it's like if you want your business to be successful, you have to represent every demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the rest of your employees better fall in line to make sure that you're not hurting the feelings or offending, I should say, those demographics.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to play down your whatever. Unfortunately, when you're talking about incorporating members of the LGBTQ community, you're going to have to, masculinity has to be, in my opinion, hidden more than femininity when you're talking about interacting with, gay men or women. Because now, if you're too masculine around a gay man, he might be scared. And if you're too masculine around a gay woman, then she's going to try to say that you're challenging her. I absolutely feel there's pressure.
Okay, but here's my thing. All right. So if I'm acting too too masculine around people who are gay, and they're offended, so I have to dumb down my masculinity, whatever that means. What about the way that I feel when they're acting too gay around my straight ass?
What's too gay?
Huh? Well, I'm saying,
what do you mean
if this dude's running around here, let's say it's a dude, he's running around here, nails painted, you know what I mean, jeans, he may even be dressed inappropriately for work, you know what I'm saying, and he's doing all this limp wristed and you know what I mean. So he don't have to hide his femininity as a man, but I have to hide my masculinity. I have to dumb down my masculinity as a man. So I have to be fair to him by not being like, yo, man, yo. So me and my peoples, like we was at the spot last night. We was at the after hour. We didn't even go to the spot. We went to the after hour, and there was mad bitches in there. And you know what I'm saying? He was turning up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they was backing it up. Yo, it was mad hooking up last night. That's what I'm talking about. After that, shoot, we went right straight from there to the Eagles game. We were tailgating, all that. We the hoes was there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, huh? Like,
his feminine ways are not viewed as intimidating. Masculine ways, masculine responses are seen now as intimidating and something to be feared, which is, I feel like it could be masculine and not be feared, but they have programmed into the minds of most of society that now anything masculine is to be feared, and it's just not. It's masculine. And what is to be feared is to be feared. There's a clear distinction when you are presented with it. The waters are muddy.
Yeah. So masculinity is seen as offense. I mean, is seen as threatening, right? Is that the word you used? Let me make sure I get it right.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, what if we take the word threatening and we make it synonymous with offensive? Because I can see how some masculinity. No, I don't see how masculinity is threatening at all. I don't see that, and I'm not gonna act like I see that or that I accept that. I can see how it can be offensive, though. Right. I can see how.
I agree, but I use threatening because that's how everyone else has decided to categorize it. They don't know the difference, or they're choosing not to see the difference between what's offensive and what's threatening, and they're mashing it all. They're putting it all in the same bowl.
Okay, so with that being said, I can see how homosexuality, and I can see how that could be threatening. And I'm gonna say it like this. I see it as being threatening because if I flinch at it, or if I show any discontent with it, if I show any contempt of it, then now it's like I almost feel like everybody's looking at me to make sure that I ain't got nothing to say or no way to feel. I consider that to be threatening. Your homosexuality threatens me because it doesn't allow me to be able to express myself, to be able to be myself, to be it's threatening my financial situation. Homosexuality is the real threat nowadays. It scares me. And I wasn't even gonna get into this whole homophobic thing, which there really isn't. There really is no such thing as. But since they want to make up words. By the way, the fuck was his name? I used to have this shit. I used to have it memorized because the word and the concept of homophobia was actually coined by a gay a Jewish gay psychologist. What was his name? And in 1970, that's when the ball started rolling, and he actually coined the phrase to demonize straight people who demonized gay people. So it was like a reverse demonization. But as time went on, in the age of Aquarius, pick the ball up. Yeah. So I'm saying all that to say this, and I know his name is going to come to me because that's the way that works. I'm saying all of that to say this. When we talk about something being offensive, a lot of times we're talking about the lack of understanding and lack of insight when it comes to whatever the so-called offensive thing is. Now, if you say something about me personally, like if you say, well, that's an ugly sweater you have on. Yeah, that's offensive because you have gone right out and offended me. You have, even if it was true. It's like, that could be considered an attack. And I think that's inappropriate. But if I say something like, well, no, like it or hate it, I wouldn't want my child to wear lipstick and heels, and if he did that, I would have a problem with it. Now, if that's offensive to you, I have a problem with why or how that's offensive to you, because I'm not talking to you. I'm actually talking about me and mine. And just because you want to lump yourself into that category because you may have struggled with that in your own experience growing up, that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that as a man, of course, I would want my son to be a real boy that grows into a real man. And if you want to question what I consider to be real, yeah, we can get into that at another time. And I want my girls to be feminine. Not saying that they can't play sports. Not saying that they can't understand the struggle that men go through or be sensitive to that. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I expect her dominant hormonal energy, which is feminine, to come through. And so when she thinks like a girl or thinks like a woman, yes, she's supposed to. It doesn't mean that she can't gain understanding of her male counterparts. But on the natural side of things, unless she is attracted to women, or unless my son is attracted to men, I expect their natural hormonal energy to be appreciated. And I will do that, and of course, I'm gonna promote that and encourage that. But it's the agenda out here is undeniable. It's undeniable. I see Veronica Freeman and Cicely Farmer have both worked in HR, so they know the inside scoop. They know what that diversity shit means. Diversity means gay. You can say whatever you want to say. That shit does not mean African. It don't mean European. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it wasn't even diversity. It wasn't even diversity. It was equal opportunity before. Now it's diversity. Like, listen, I'm saying that you're going to have some gender neutral bathrooms up in this bitch. That's what we're talking about. If you agree with that, okay, you agree with it. But you're not going to make me feel bad about not agreeing with it. Whether you consider it to be a safety issue or not, I think that both sides have to be appreciated or at least understood. So when we talk about having to hide your masculinity or femininity, that I look at it in a multitude of different ways, because it's like you may have to be conscious
90 seconds.
You may have to be conscious of the way that you act in front of other people who live an alternative or so-called alternative lifestyle. so you don't seem like you are against them. But at the same time, you're probably going to do that in your sobriety. If you've experienced anything like me, you've seen the way some people act when they get high, when they get drunk or whatever. A lot of times,
60 seconds.
Their natural way, their natural feelings and their natural way of acting comes out of that because they don't have the faculties working at that time to be able to hide it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people who says the truth comes out when you get high. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is one thing that does come out when you're drunk or high is your inability to hide your inhibitions. That often gets blocked. So whereas when you're sober, you're on guard all the time. When you're drunk and when you're high, yeah. So the truth in your words may not come out, but the truth in your feelings will probably like yo, you ever notice every time this dude get high, he start rubbing up against other dudes? He want to get all, hey, you're my buddy, and want to be hugging and shit. Who you loving? Who you want to be hugging? Yeah, you see women do it too. I've heard plenty of women complain like every time this bitch get high, she want to be all kissing and kissing on me and tell me how much she love me and fixing my clothes. Like, bitch, get the
Yep, you see it more with women.
You see it a lot, you know.
You see it way more with women. They blame it on the alcohol.
Yeah. So when you have the inability to hide your masculinity or femininity, it can be a problem, a financial problem. And that's pretty much what we're dealing with out here today. But there are pressures. There are pressures for you to hide your natural hormonal energy. There's a lot of political pressures. And you know, before we get up out of here, I'm gonna have to say this, and because this really irks me, and it's a fact that I really wish wasn't a fact. I hate when people refer to to everybody who's registered as a Democrat as Democrats, and everybody who is registered as a Republican as Republicans, because just because you choose a particular political party does not mean that you agree with everything that political a party's agenda tries to promote. It doesn't mean that. Like, I'm a registered Democrat, but I don't subscribe to most of the shit that they be trying to push, because I see a different type of agenda within that agenda. But one thing can't be denied is that the Democratic agenda is definitely on that gay shit. And they push it too fucking hard. Too hard. You know what I mean? It's like their bread and butter. You know, yeah, all right, abortion, yeah, that's fucked up what they're trying to do in Texas as far as abortion. And that's right. It is fucked up what they're trying to do in Texas as far as abortion is concerned. And and you know, these gun laws, we need to change these gun laws. You should at least require background checks for people to get guns. I totally agree, but they ain't pushing that shit like that. No matter how many people get killed. But when it comes to that gay shit, bread and butter, because that abortion shit don't pay no bills. You understand? Anti-abortion or pro-choice don't pay the bills. That gun lobby and shit, it don't pay the bills. But when we get to that gay shit, that shit is paying bill after bill after bill after bill. You see the big difference between when Obama was in office and then when Trump was in office, and then now that Biden is back in office. The similarities between the Obama administration and the Biden administration is the gay agenda is at the forefront again. That shit had to take 4 years off during the Trump administration. That pisses me off. Like, God damn. As much contempt as I have for that motherfucker. One thing that you have to say about Republicans right now is that they on that masculine energy shit. They on that men at the head of the household shit. You can't deny it. And you can't deny that the Democrats are off that shit. Trying to get rid of the black male particularly. Like, we don't need you. All you do is abandon the family. All you do is commit crimes. All you do is go back and forth to jail. All you do is come and set the wrong example. So that's what we're working with. And unfortunately, much of this shit is spilling out into our workplaces and our social spaces and into our families. I don't like that shit. So I suspect that on our jobs and in our homes, we are getting a healthy dose of the liberal media kind of making us feel like, yeah, we do have to dumb down or hide our masculinity and femininity. You know what I mean? Straight up men and women ain't popular around here no more. But it's not the only place. They're not the only sources. I think that it has permeated us so much. And the social media is definitely an extension of the liberal media or the right-wing media, you know. But yeah, you know, so as we combine the political propaganda with social media propaganda, because you know everybody on social media want to act like they knew everything before they got taught it. You know what I mean? You know, you got niggas running around here talking about I do my research. Shut the fuck up, nigga. I got YouTube. God. I got YouTube and Google too. You ain't research shit. What you talking about? That was the Trump shit. No, I did my research. That's why I love Trump. I did my research. I ain't gonna lie. Before the Trump administration, I ain't seen so many niggas on studying and doing research in my life. 4 years of college, I ain't seen none of my friends did this much research.
At YouTube University.
I did research papers. I ain't do as much research as they talk about. I must have plagiarized my way all the way through the whole joint. I've done my research. They don't expect you to ask more questions after that either. No, I've done my research. Like,
like, oh well, they've done their research. I have to leave them alone.
You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I need to get on my job and do me some research. All right, man. You know, but yeah, having to dumb down or hide your masculinity or femininity, it just doesn't seem fair. And I understand that life isn't fair, but I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. We can't teach our sons and daughters to be men and women. We can't do that. I mean, really, there's a problem with that. I mean, to the point where, hold on. Before we get out of here, this Dwayne Wade situation. Hold on, wait a goddamn minute.
Wait a minute.
All right, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Before you get into that, I wanted to piggyback off what you were just saying because you have me inspired. They want you to play it down in certain situations, certain environments, but then they will charge you with not having enough of it in other environments. Mm-hmm. And they will charge you with you know, you're be a man. I love when, you know, somebody throw that phrase out quick, fast, and in a damn hurry
Mm-hmm.
after asking you to play being a quote unquote man down. Then they say, well, you know, they want to redefine what being a man is. The shit is crazy. It's crazy. Play it down, but bring it up, and only do it during these times.
Mm-hmm.
Man, cut it out. Cut it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, go ahead. Go. You were about to say something about the gay father with the boy, girl, daughter, son.
Well, let a lot of people say it. He's not gay. Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But his overwhelming support. Now, I watched something very interesting happen on social media. When he came out, when Dwayne Wade came out in full support of his son, his 12-year-old son, declaring that he wants to live his life as a girl. I remember seeing a post where they said, you know, I stand with Dwayne Wade. This was a dude who posted this shit. I stand with Dwayne Wade, or wait a minute. I don't want to misquote him, but I can't remember exactly what he said. But it was something like, he was basically declaring that he would do the same as Dwayne Wade did in that situation. And I'm thinking, like, there's no way I would do what Dwayne Wade did, for a variety of reasons. One of those reasons being that I would say that my son is probably going through puberty, and you know the hormonal activity that's going on with a pre-adolescent can make you think all kinds of shit. You ain't right. It's like a man having a monthly cycle at that time. You be all fucked up. I remember what I went through when I was going through puberty. It felt like I was high. It was crazy. So I would definitely support my son as far as helping him to get through that cycle in his life. But I'm not going to take into consideration that my son is ready, willing, and able to make a lifetime and a lifestyle decision like that at age 12. It's not possible. Like, if I'm still deciding what schools my son is going to go to and what time he should come home and where he can go, if he's still at an age where he has to fully check in and depend on me for the decisions that he would make big mistakes on making on his own, why would I go all out to support a decision like that? Like, why are you crazy? I mean, let me ask you this. Do you think Dwayne Wade would have supported his son if his son would have said at 12 years old, Daddy, I want to be a pimp. I want to pimp all of these hoes out here. You know, it's a lot of bitches out here we can make money from. That's what I want to do. Do you think that would have went
the same thing?
Now, listen, I think it would have went viral also.
It would have gone viral, but it's not the same thing.
That's right. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it's born of this. It's born of the same lack of understanding. It's born of the same influences. He probably would only know about wanting to be a pimp from seeing other pimps. Like, shit, they drive nice cars, they dress extravagantly. What man don't want a bunch of women, you know, giving him ass? Influence, right? So, so while everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, while so many people are applauding his support of his son making a lifestyle, physical decision about himself, I just would have liked to have seen what Dwayne Wade would have been if his son said that he wanted to pimp hoes. Like, yeah, Dad, since we got the money, I'm going to need me a pimp. I need me a mink, full length, complete with hat.
You got a mink anyway.
Complete with hat. and I need a pimp cup. I need to look the part before I get me any hoes. Yeah, I got some girls in the 7th grade and they ready to do something strange for some change, but I just, I need my uniform. And you and mommy can't say that y'all had the money. And listen, I need you to support me on this. Well, would he have shown that same level of support?
Of course not.
Of course not.
I don't believe so.
Of course
there would have been no pimp goblet, no goblet, no none of that. The blinged out goblet. I don't believe he would have supported that. I mean, I know it's just an example and it's different, but no, he wouldn't have supported it.
Mm-hmm.
And
he wouldn't have been applauded for supporting it, even if he did.
No,
that's right. So why is it that we feel the obligation? Some of us feel the obligation to applaud his decision to support that to the fullest, when it's just as ridiculous to me, especially at that age.
That's the thing. That's the key. It's ridiculous to you,
mm-hmm.
And that's his son. The same way you said your son is your son, and how you approach it is your choice. That's his son. So it's being ridiculous to you. I respect your opinion. But it's your opinion. But that's not your family. That's not your son. I feel like he was pressured into an extreme response, and I feel like that he and Gabrielle feel as if they made the right choice in the way that they responded, because of all of the way that the whole world just wrapped their arms around them as a family and their son daughter, as he transitions into whatever. But I'm gonna say this about D Wade, that I've always felt like he was kind of, he's always seemed feminine, very, very feminine to me. And I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why his son feels so strongly about wanting to be a woman is because maybe there's like some genetic trait about where sometimes people are born with more hormones, even though they may have been born with certain genitals, their hormone levels are higher for the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some genetic shit going on there, because the little boy really does. I don't know. He seems more feminine than masculine to me, as does his father. That's just my little.
Listen.
They all
listen. There have always been people who were gay, and I do believe that your gender preferences are chosen at an extremely young age. I don't know, maybe birth. I don't know. And I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is being able to make those decisions about your lifestyle
at 12.
Before you're able. Okay. That boy is allowed to choose to be a girl at age 12 before he's able to choose what college he's going to. Huh? What? For all my age ain't nothing but a number, people. Yo, get the fuck out of here. Age is not just a number. It's an experience. I'll bet none of y'all feel the same way today as y'all felt at age 12. Many of y'all can't even remember what happened. Some of us was getting high at age 12. Like, shit, you don't want to know my thoughts at age 12. I was out there. I was wild already. Where other people may say at 12, I was watching He-Man and playing with dolls, or whatever the case may be. But I don't have a problem with any parent supporting their children to the fullest, because that's what a parent is supposed to do. But there's a difference between support and actually becoming what that person is. Like, listen, I'm not gonna tell you that if you gay, you can't come in my house no more. But don't be looking for me to march in the gay parade. Why the fuck should I? I didn't march in a lot of other parades that I agree with. But like, yo, you know what, man? You know, I didn't go out there and march in that George Floyd shit last year. But I'd be goddamn if I'm missing the LGBT. Get the fuck out of here. What? No.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, like there's support and there are levels of support, but you shouldn't have to change who you are and how you genuinely feel in order to support somebody, because support goes both ways. The same way that you may be expected to support their decision to be whatever and whoever they are, they should also support who you are and how you feel to the contrary, and find a way to find some middle ground so that y'all can coexist and show love and support for each other. I don't have a problem with that at all. But you ain't gonna tell me that as a man I can't feel the way a man does, and that I can't support the way I think that a man should be. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, so yeah, I expect my young men to at least have a chance to think like a man before they get influenced by all this bullshit. No, not with it. I'm not with it. And I think it's okay if they don't accept that shit, because I don't accept it, and I think that it's okay. It ain't changing. Somebody gotta stand up.
Can I ask a question?
Nah, I ain't asking no questions. Just see, that's one thing we don't do in this. All right, what?
Do you believe? Because I noticed that this whole gender confusion, gender transition at early ages has happened a lot within the celebrity. I call it a compound, and because their children. Because the celebrities in their families are in the public eye, it's influenced all the teenagers and adolescents in society. But, you know, like people are not taking into account that these celebrity children are privy to seeing things at an early age that maybe they should not have, and sometimes are being taken advantage of because of the circles that their celebrity parents are running in, you know, that may aid in their confusion or their idea that they are gay. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't think that's being thought about. Like, these kids are exposed to sexual situations and parties. You know, I've been in certain circles, so I know the shit gets crazy.
Right.
You know, I've been in it and been like, yo, I'm out, and I'm an adult. But like, this shit is this too much. Y'all doing what? Gerbils, you know, just all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right.
And it's in people's celebrity homes, which means their kids are there, and their kids are, just when you think the kids aren't paying attention or watching, or they're in a different section of the house, all those celebrity kids are watching, and now they're doing stuff with each other. They're perverts in and out of the industry. So the kids are, you know, having all kinds of experiences. Now they're gay, straight, bi, nothing, he, it, clouds, they're bushes, however they want to be, you know, associated or referred to as, and then they're influencing the youth everywhere else that are watching them on TV, right, and reality TV and social media. Hollywood
all day. And because many of us who have never been in show business on any level, we don't understand how it really works. We don't understand how that counterculture has thrived since way before any of us were born or even thought about. And we don't understand those. Mm-hmm. We don't understand those secret societies and their counter norms to whatever our regular norms are. We don't understand that shit. And until you experience it, like you were talking about, we will never understand it or believe it. Because I'm sure that when you've explained this to other people in the past, they didn't believe what you were saying. Many of them may have told you, well, you wasn't in show business like all of that, so you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? They want to they want to dumb down your experience with your knowledge base, and I get that, but that's one of the reasons why this shit is able to go on and on and on without any indication that things are going to level out a little bit. I'm not going to say return to normal, because we can't go back to what we were. We will never be the same. But it doesn't mean that if our supposed notion of equality, balance, normality, and fairness, it doesn't mean that it can't be achieved. It doesn't mean that we can't strive to that end. It doesn't mean that we can't reach that goal on some level. But I just don't think that we're going in that direction right now. It seems like we're going full speed ahead with a particular agenda, and we're probably going to have to do whatever we can do for ourselves. We're going to have to become a little bit more individualistic in our stance of what we think is right or wrong. But I just don't think that the ancestors were wrong. They may not have gotten it all right, but I don't think that they were totally wrong either, the way that some people in some groups would have us believe. But by all means, if I don't get anything across on this show, you and I, if we didn't get anything across on this show, I definitely believe that parents should support their children to the fullest. I believe that they should encourage them, but I also believe that they should try to make sure that they instill as much understanding, knowledge, and wisdom within their children to be able to cultivate them into making the best decisions for themselves for the long term as possible. Mm-hmm. So I'm not telling anybody to set shiva like the old school Jews used to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling nobody to do that. I ain't telling nobody to kick anybody out of Kingdom Hall like the Jehovah's Witnesses used to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling y'all to do none of that shit. All I'm saying is, don't lose yourself in your support. You know what I mean? You need support too. Listen, man, make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I want to thank everybody in the chat room for coming through. I really appreciate it. Y'all chopping it up in there. Y'all talking some good shit. This is what we do, Urban Therapy with Son and Daily Go Getism. We try to talk to each other, talk with each other, and exchange information so we can make our lives a little bit more understandable and a little bit more better. We're searching for improvement. Caller, whoever you are, whatever you are, I really appreciate you coming through. I am a she. You are what?
I was born a she, and I am a she.
Okay, she. I think that's what I'm gonna call you from now. Hey, yo, she. Hey, yo, she.
That's girl. Right. Whenever you see the last 4 digits 4828, you call me she.
That's what it's gonna be from now on. But no, I really appreciate you coming through and giving us that insight and that information. I appreciate it to the fullest. You get it, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. So,
thank you.
God damn it. There's a comment in the chat room on the Blog Talk side that I meant to read, and I'm going to read it now. And this is from Pata, and they say, "Don't think that homosexuality is a threat. It's the powers that are promoting this lifestyle that is the threat. We have always had this element in our communities, but there was never a social conflict. They think church choirs church choirs back in the 50s and 60s. That element was there and everyone knew it, but there was no conflict. Yeah. Well, that wasn't I appreciate that comment, Pata. The thing about it is, even back then, I think it was a little unfair because we forced our homosexual counterparts to hide their homosexuality, and I don't think that was any good. I don't think that was any better. You know, I may not like the way that everybody applauds people coming out, but I would rather you be able to be who you are rather than to have to hide who you think is attractive, hide how you really feel, hide your sexual and intimate personal preferences or activity. I don't want you to have to do that, and I don't want to do that. And that's my whole point when I say having to hide your masculinity or femininity. I don't want you to have to hide. If you're a male and you feel like a woman, I don't want you to have to hide that. Do you? I just don't think that you need a million motherfuckers behind you, applauding you for being gay. When I've been straight all my life and nobody says shit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I mean, can I get a what? I'm saying, what? I was with Lisa last night. Can I get a what?
You can get a what and a who?
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Holla.
I thought I'm still muted.
I'm just saying. All right, yo. Let me do these birthday shout outs. And we see y'all tomorrow at 7:00 for the Daily Go Get a Busy Show. I want y'all to have a great day. All right, so all right, Carl, I'm gonna get with you later. All right. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious October 24th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Lillian Edmondson, turning 52 years old today. And Martha Middleton Brown, happy birthday to you. And Vanessa Moultrie, turning 45 years old. Bow, 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 bow. 45 years now. And also Alicia Hawkins, turning 46 years old today. And Stacy Reds Joseph, turning 40 years old today. Welcome to the 40-40 Club. You know what I mean? It's nice up in here. You do the day. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah. And Shanitra De Latrice Evans, happy birthday to you. And Paula Howard, turning 54 years old today. And Tina Adu, turning, I don't know. And Tucci Montana, turning 36 years old today. And Quindella Rogers, turning 43 years old today. And Jolie Chi, happy birthday to you. And Stacy Kirkland, turning 38 years old today. And Letitia Shelley, happy birthday to you. Renee Randall, happy birthday to you. And Vava Piet Segudi, happy birthday to you. And Brenda Miss B. Roberts, turning 67 years old today. And Ronald Covington, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, Janice Berkeley, happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious October 24th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the damn, the rock out, rock on into the damn, rock out, rock on to the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, you should never have to hide your masculinity, femininity. I don't care whether you're gay or straight, as long as you don't project your hate onto anybody, you can still be great. Why not? You know, there are so many pressures of society to limit our individualism and limit our free thinking. But when the smoke clears, your free thinking, your free thought process is all you really have. And I would suggest and encourage you to hold on to it as tight as possible. Don't nobody come in here and, you know what I mean, tell you how you supposed to be thinking. Man, we ain't fucking motherfuckers, son. I appreciate y'all coming through. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all back to life. I mean, you really on one today. This month, like, hey, let go. Let go of my pants. Let go. Okay. She says hi. She says bye. All right. I want y'all to have a beautiful day today. May the Eagles beat the Raiders today. I mean, if it don't happen, it don't happen. But, you know, love is love. And I should have the freedom to be masculine enough to hope that my team wins. I ain't going to be hiding that shit. So, man, listen. Love and support those who you love and support. And that's the only way that you'll ever be able to realistically and reasonably be able to receive the love and support that you may need at some point in your life, because you're going to need it. We all need it. So let's do that. But let's not put unrealistic expectations upon ourselves and others to feel differently than they feel. We can always learn more. And as we learn and as we learn, we gain more knowledge, wisdom, and definitely understanding. And that can change the way that we feel. Let's just do it a little bit more organically, huh? Let's pay a little bit of homage to what we have already learned, are wise about, and have gained understanding with. All right. So what we gonna do? I got a boatload of bitches in there. Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. We're gonna take y'all out. It's almost 1 o'clock. That's what I give for starting late, right? But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And then it's okay. I'm gonna do what I did yesterday. Yeah. All right, so let's go. Yo. Rock him and say peace. And so will Sun 752, baby. So my Instagram is I holler back at you. Thanks for coming on by. Yes, sure. And we out now. And it's going down. Yeah. Peace. Word up. For my YouTubers, I get back with y'all. Don't forget to share that show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to show that love and hit that like button. That's it. Peace.